video. I read around somewhere around about that 10-minute mark, somewhere along in there. Kind of got away from the book being written in third person, and we both been trying to prove it. So we finna try to tackle that now and see can we kind of get to the bottom of that and bring a little more edification and overstanding. Somebody feel it. Overstanding on what Do-Right trying to get us. So with a skillful eye, if you read the book, you see the book written in third person. And somebody is sitting there telling you everything that was going on. Everything. They even told you how the whole thing got started. By the very fact that they said in the beginning. But in the beginning of what? In the beginning of who? In the beginning of why? See, these questions that we must ask ourselves and seek out the answers for. Because if we don't get these questions answered, it's hard for us to understand anything else. It's just simple. I mean, if I gave you a book, like this book right here. You right here went to a bartending school. But if I got this manual and somebody done went in it and took out a few pages through the different sessions in it, and then when Do-Right picked that book up and started trying to read it, he don't really understand it. Because some valuable information been left out of it. For this to make any sense to somebody, you kind of got to go back over some of the other Do-Right videos and kind of keep up. Because everything is relevant, even though that might sound strange. But a lot of things that we think ain't really what it is. But by the very fact that this, whatever it was, that was sitting there telling us about the beginning, it seen some stuff. Because it said, the earth was formed, was void, and without form. Well, if the earth was void and without form, how was it land? Because that's what land means, form. So you got this being telling you, and it seemed the being said, whatever it was, it said, and God said, it just said, and I said, it said, and God said. So somebody or something heard God say something. Where that person come from? Who is that person? And see, you go ask your preacher stuff like that, he gonna get scared. He gonna run from you. He'll even pull you up in the front of the church if you call yourself a prophet, an apostle, and want to tell you what said the Lord. And try to make a demon out you. Tell you got religious demon on you, you question God and you ain't faithful and you ain't non-believer and God gonna get you because you questioning him. No, we ain't questioning God, we questioning you. You the one said he called you to preach. I mean, if you read your book, you see every man that God sent. He prepared him. He sent Moses to Pharaoh. He prepared Moses. So when they say such and such and such, you tell them such and such and such. So in these questions, we got to ask. We got to stop being scared to ask questions. Then we go to school and they tell us that the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. You scared to ask a question because you think it's stupid. See? And these are things we got to get out of. And we got to start getting back into critical thinking. Using that common sense. That Do-Right was talking about in one of the videos about him being in Baltimore. So anyway, to kind of stay on point, I hope I'll ever give you enough to kind of tie this neck part and the fur part in. And so the woman, the Eve part that was on the end of the believe part. The Adam part was laid down and the rib was took out of it, according to the book. Because that being told us that God said that it was not good that the man should be alone. And it said, I'm going to create for him a helpmeet. Hey, Bookie, these my babies, y'all. All right, now they're the teacher. Put the Do-Right hat, but he can't talk without the hat now. That's the Do-Right spirit there. Kenny Ken Do-Right spirit. But that being saw the God doing everything, and he's heard the God say, it ain't good for the man to be alone. I'm going to create for him a help meet. Not a helpmate, sister. Not a tricking with your cootie. Made for him a help meet. Not to tell him what the hell to do. And you can follow. See? And then, let's follow the story now. The Adam part and the Eve part were put in this thing part that they called the Garden of Eden. And they were given certain rules and regulations. They couldn't run down the path but so fast. Or they get a speeding ticket and the insurance go up. Because you got to go to Methodist court and pay your fine for your sin. Hey, auntie, how you doing? Hi. All right. Sitting there teaching, baby. Sitting there teaching.
So what?
Sitting there teaching.
Hey,
And so, but then it being, the same being now, they're seeing God moving over the water, seeing God calling the light. Even told us that God said it was good. And then it was always an evening and a morning. And then the next day would come. See, all this is going to tie in. You're going to have to stay in. And you're going to have to understand where it's coming from. You can't get it all at the same time. It just don't work that way. Do-Right have to give it how he get it. I asked for it, but sometimes it ain't gave it to me.
Well, maybe you asked for it the right way.
And so this being that seen all this, it went to that Eve part. And it started talking to the Eve. And it asked Eve a few questions. About the rules and regulations that they weren't supposed to do. Because it was some about a tree that somebody tried to make us think it was an apple. See, we talked about the apple part in another video. A little bit. But the book say now, I'm talking about what the book say. Not what Do-Right say or what Do-Right think. Okay? The book say there was a tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So that being went to talking to the Eve, trying to get her to eat of that tree. That was the book. So it told us that, well, look at him. You ain't gonna die. God just pulling your leg. See, God knows that the day you partake of this tree right here, your eyes gonna be open. And you're gonna be able to guard yourself. He told, look at it. It's good for food. It's gonna make you wise. But now we've been told that that being that saw God doing all of this, that the book said was a serpent. Somebody telling us it was a snake. See? Just trying to toss some things in here. Everybody ain't gonna feel it. Everybody ain't gonna get it. But if it ain't for you, leave it alone. You know. So, we were told that this being, whatever it was, tricked Eve. But that's not so. If you read the book with your senses trained to understand the good and the evil. See, Paul talked about the good and evil. Peter. Okay. Now, yeah, Peter, Paul, Peter, one of them did it. It's in one of the other videos. You do right there with that little bit. But that being, it did not trick Eve. It offered Eve. It just suggested things to Eve. It told Eve it's going to make you wise. Make your eyes open. Good for food. Going to make you desirous. And she bought into it. And then the book said she got some knowledge of good and evil. And she took it back over to Adam. And gave unto him. And he did eat. Now that's deep, brother, because there's a message in that for men. But we ain't dealing with the men part right now. See? Because see, one of the sisters gonna come up and what about men? Well, what about us? We dealing with the woman falling part. The black woman and how she don't feel part. But y'all don't like to hear that. Can't nobody say nothing to y'all without y'all putting your hands on your hip and you're jerking your neck like your head about to fall off and roll all over the floor. And if I was a football kicker, I'd kick me some field goal with them. But anyway, do right in about 13 and a half minutes. This on the part 3 of dealing with how the black woman will feel. So we're going to take a little small break. Do right want to get a little bit more nicotine and a little bit more caffeine in it. Well, I got to say this, even take up to 15 minutes. I got to say this because I know somebody going to say it and they thinking it. Because the book said, if you think it, so are you. So let me bust your bubble right now. Y'all, some of y'all been sit there and say, well, he there talking about the Bible, and he's smoking and smoking. Well, what you do? We all sick. Everybody doing something, somebody else thinking wrong. You ain't saying that. About Noah and Billy in the ark, book said he was a drunkard. So what? Everybody do something. Everybody got a habit. We all sick. I ain't get up out of no, fall down out of no heaven. So let's stop tripping because we don't like the messenger. And let's deal with the message. Do right, be back. 10 or 15 minutes, we take a little small break. I got my babies here. So I'm going to kiss and hug on my babies. And give me some nicotine. And do right, be back. In a short, later.